Started. Cool. Okay, hey Brandywine Grace Youth. It's Katie, and I'm here to do the senior challenge. First of all, I want to apologize that I can't be there in person. I'd way rather be doing this standing in front of you guys. Actually, probably not. I kind of struggle with talking sometimes. But right now, not right now. Right now I'm in Jake's room. It's kind of random and like dirty in here, but I, right now, as you're watching this, I'm actually at a Westchester orientation, so that's why I couldn't be there. So I'm learning all sorts of cool things about college, but I'm sad that I can't be with you guys. I'm there in spirit. So I'm going to give you guys a little challenge. This is kind of like all written out, so I'm going to be reading it. It's not just off the top of my head. Okay. These past months that made up my senior year were filled with a lot of new things. I went to community college for the first time, got my license, and finally gave in and got an iPhone. Got rid of my old crappy one. Probably the best new thing that happened to me this year was becoming involved in my care group. Mr. Sharp said that the 5 seniors, me, Jake, Jimmy, Caleb, and Jenny, could start coming to college care group a few months early, and I went to one on one Thursday night. I was a little nervous about meeting all the college people. I thought they were all kind of, old and like they'd been through so much more than I have, and they were cooler than I was, and I didn't know if I'd get along with them, but I went anyway, and I was excited, and I really enjoyed it, and I was immediately drawn in by the passion that I saw and how these guys talked about their walks with Christ. It made me want to talk about mine and get in deeper conversations about Christ. Now I go every other week, so twice a month, and I love it, and it's been a huge means of grace in my life. I've gotten to know older girls in the group, and they've poured wisdom into my life that I'm greatly in need of and so appreciative of. Things that I wouldn't be able to know on my own, they have just shared with me, like life experiences. In addition to wisdom, people from the group have kept me accountable when I've slipped up in my walk. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 10 says, "For if they fall, one will lift his fellow up. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up." Having like brothers and sisters in Christ beside me when I'm falling and struggling in my walk has been pivotal to me growing in my faith. I think most of all, what I loved about group is being in fellowship with Christians has just made my fire for Christ like burn so much brighter. Like being around people who have like a deep, passionate, joyful love for Christ has made me like want to know more about him and soak in as much knowledge as I can, and just like we'll never fully understand Christ, until we die and go to heaven, but just being around people who want to learn more about him, like you get to understand him on a deeper level than what you would just on your own. So I love that part of it. So you might be saying, like, how am I supposed to do that? I don't have a care group to go to, and my youth meeting is only twice a month, or once a month, I think. So you don't have that, like, consistency. In addition to going to care group, I didn't just do that. Jimmy, Jake, Caleb, Jenny, and I, the 5 seniors, met once a week to do what we would call SBS. And it stands for Senior Bible Study, don't worry. But we kept one another accountable, and we read our Bibles together, and we memorized, and just got really close to not only to one another, but closer to Christ through it, and just sharing like the one thing we love in common, which would be Christ. I know Becky and her friends have gotten together and they've done some worship and had some Bible study times, and I want to encourage you guys just to keep doing that and pursue after that, and that having biblical fellowship at your age doesn't just necessarily mean a community group. Like, you guys don't have to have a community group to do that. It can just be as simple as just making Christ the focus of your conversations, like on a normal day, like at church on Sunday, like asking your friends how their walks are going, and make it the cool thing to talk about what you're reading in your devotions or something that's challenged you lately. Also, like older girls, like investing in younger girls, like, sharing experiences they've had, or saying, yeah, I dealt with fear of man, I'm still dealing with it, like, let me help you in it. And the same with the guys, too, definitely would be big. Simply keeping Christ at the center of all your relationships will create natural biblical fellowship and accountability with each other. And in conclusion, my brothers and sisters in the Lord have been a large means in how I've grown this year as a Christian. And as my senior challenge, I want to encourage you guys to not take advantage of spending time with Christians, but instead use these people that God's placed around you to grow deeper in Christ and your knowledge for Him. Hebrews 10:25 says, "Let us not give up meeting together, as some in their habit of doing, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." So just be constantly there for one another, spurring each other on in your walks, and in the end, your relationship with Christ is going to deepen, and your fellowship with the believers is going to deepen. So that's my senior challenge. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And so I wasn't there to give it in person. See you guys.